Hey family, I wish I could talk about another topic, but this one is fairly important. And it is in reference to how we come out of the house. Ladies, why is spandex your only clothing? Why? I mean, I guess I could say I understand wearing it during exercise. They're comfortable, they're pliable, you can move around, all of that good stuff. But spandex seems to be the option, the daily option for most women. And it don't even matter what size you are, because it doesn't look nice when you have no undergarments on and everything is just in, up and in, and everywhere you go, that's what you wear, and you're jiggling and wiggling all over the place. You choose the shortest top to wear with it, so everything is hanging out. Do I wear spandex pants? I do. They are comfortable, especially when you have a big belly. They are the most comfortable thing you could put on, right? I wear long sweaters, long shirts. I don't like to have my body exposed like that. I don't even feel comfortable. Did I do that when I was younger? Absolutely. But when you see that constantly, spandex has a tendency to fit to the mold of your body. Therefore, the wrinkles and dimples and all this stuff, it doesn't look nice. And you can see right through those things. A lot of women are running around with no panties on. And the black ones, you can literally see right through them. You can see the behind crack and everything. And sisters, I just wanted to say this. We are always complaining about men being perverts, right? How they're disgusting and how they're so horny and blah, 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 blah. But if you're walking around basically naked because they can see your exact shape with those pants on. If you're walking around naked, how in the world do you expect the men to behave? Now, don't get me wrong, I see a lot of them walking past, ignoring it, because they see it so often, they're probably bored. The ones with some decency and some good sense, they're probably bored. But I'm from New York. And in New York, you can get a whole lot of attention just walking down 2 blocks dressed like that. But then women complain. What do you want men to do? I'm going to tell you something about a friend of mine. It was funny. We came out of church. Just because you go to church don't mean you're not human, right? I'm not saying it's okay to sin. I'm just saying things happen because we are in flesh, right? We came out of church, and I remember this young lady walked by, and she had the shortest skirt on. I mean, it was barely covering up her butt cheeks. So he kind of, looked. I looked too. I'm a woman. It draws attention. And so I looked at him, and I said, it's hard being a man, ain't it? And he was like, man, you don't even know the half. And see, we never think about it in their perspective. We only think about ourselves, what I want to do. This is my body, blah, 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 blah. Right? But we don't think about how we push men to the edge by the way we dress and how we behave. And we don't care because we just saying, oh, he shouldn't be a pervert. He need to learn how to control himself. Really, ladies? Really? I enjoy having conversations with men because they put your mind in a whole nother perspective. They show you something that you don't see because we're not them. So I like seeing through their eyes. He said, it's hard. He said, especially when you're single and you don't have a woman. And, everywhere you go, he said, the summertime is the worst. He ain't lying because everybody's naked, So he said, it's hard to be a man, and that's what you see all day. He said, I am flesh and blood. I'm human, And so at times it's going to get to you. It turns him on. He's a man, and he's being honest. And I couldn't say he's a pervert or something's wrong with him. He's a healthy male with a healthy sex drive. And so when a woman is running around naked and that's all he sees all day and he is not being released because he does not have a wife, don't you think that's putting pressure on the man? But I know a lot of y'all don't care. The lack of self-respect is so present and so prevalent that you would definitely not even consider what the men are feeling. Oh, they should be able to control themselves. They shouldn't be a pervert. They get over it. I'm a woman. This is my shape. Blah, 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 blah. So many excuses to do the wrong thing. You're being a temptress. A temptress. That's what you're being. You're tempting men. You're tempting them. And a lot of y'all will go out to a club half naked with the shortest little dress with no underclothes. I remember this young lady, it was some years ago, but I think it was before I left New York, so it was a while ago when I heard this story. And she was a married woman, went out to a club and got just sloppy drunk, had on the shortest dress with no underclothes. And some man had raped her. They said the man raped her on the dance floor. Now, do I agree with somebody being raped? Hell no. I'm a woman. I don't think anybody should be forced to do anything against their will. I think that's the most tragic thing that can happen. But do I believe that there are times when people put themselves in position to have something awful happen to them? Hell yes, I do. There are things that we do that we know are not right and that are dangerous, and we put ourselves in these predicaments, and then we want to complain after. How are you as a married woman going to a club with no drawers on with a tiny little dress? So when you bend over because you're dancing provocatively and you're drunk as a skunk and people are seeing your private parts, remind you, people are drunk and high in a club. I always call these places a den of sin because it's conducive for stuff like that to happen. People want to go out and have a good time. All right, understood. I did it too. But it's not a safe environment at all. People's inhibitions are lessened. Nobody is thinking. It's all about having fun and getting it on, right? Hooking up, meeting with somebody. Me personally, I used to just go to dance. I used to love to dance, but I did dress provocatively. And I had men coming at me. And I had an attitude about it. But yet and still, I'm dressed provocatively because we don't use our brain when we are young. We really think that we could wear tight, short stuff, go around, and that nobody's going to say nothing to you. Or we want the good-looking men, right? We want the men that we like to say something to us. But all men have eyes. All men have eyes. And it doesn't much matter what they look like. They are a human being with flesh, in the flesh. And so, ladies, I just want to tell you, I made a lot of mistakes and poor choices as well when I was young as far as my dress is concerned. But I learned that queenly behavior begets respect. Making proper choices saves you a lot of trouble. Now, do any women get raped? Old women, little babies? They're not being provocative. They're not tempting anybody. Yes, there are sick men all over the place. But when you behave a certain way and dress a certain way, you're asking for trouble even more so. And a lot of you are going to have an attitude about this video, but the truth is the truth, and it cannot be denied. And if it is denied, that's not going to make it go away. Just like the young lady who went to Mike Tyson's room years ago. I thought that was the craziest thing. I'm like, huh? Again, putting it out there. I don't believe anybody should be raped, but there are times when we put ourselves in the worst positions and it's going to happen. Mike Tyson is a popular guy. He was extra big time back in his heyday. Women were lining up to sleep with him. He didn't even have to ask. He could look over at them and they running because it's so loose. Don't have no morals. Just because he got a name and money, you're opening your legs. He was accustomed to that. Most people are not going to turn him down. That's what he did. This woman went and met him at a hotel 4 o'clock in the morning. What you thought was going to happen? Y'all was going to have a chit chat, a talk, conversation? What? What y'all was going to play pity pat? What y'all was going to do? Meeting a man in a hotel in the middle of the night. Drinking. What you thought was going to happen? And in situations like that piss me off that women do, and then they want to cry rape. How can you do that? You put that man in a situation where he's all riled up, and in his mind, his intention is to be with you sexually. And if it wasn't your intention to be with him sexually, then it would make sense for you to be a woman, a ladylike woman, and say, I decline your invitation. I can't do that. If we're going to meet, let's meet up in the daytime at a coffee shop. Not in the middle of the night, and you're scantily dressed, drinking with the man, and think that he's not going to want to touch you? How dumb can you possibly be? We walk down the street and we get attention from men, so we already know that the standard of men are very low. We know that all they think about is sex. And a lot of times, guess what? We are the cause of it, ladies. We are the cause of it. The way we behave ourselves, the way we dress, the way we present ourselves entices men. Be careful what you're doing. Peace, love, and blessings.